Good morning or afternoon. Sleep Dog here. Wheat Cent Collectors Buy, Sell, and Ask. It's a group for all coin series, but nothing modern. I'm going to try to cover some ground. There's over 500 coin groups on Facebook. The creme de la creme is the Virtual Coin Show. That's a professionally run group. All the rest, every one of them are small fry. There's a few good groups. I think I'm a member of 8. If you jumped in this group to learn, buy and sell, that's what it's for. The problem is, just like so many groups, you might have 6, 7, 8,000 members. You only got 2% that are active. Nothing we can do about that. What we can do is keep the scammers out, the spammers, and all that nonsense you get in some of these other groups, especially ones that aren't private. These rules, which you have all agreed to, or you wouldn't have got in to start with, because Deputy Dog has one duty in this group, main function. That's to look at everyone who applies. If they don't answer the questions and don't agree to the rules, they don't get in. Period. Probably pisses a few people off, but if you take the time to do that, you'll get in. The reason for that, I'm not getting into, other than the fact that if you can't follow some simple instructions, you're probably going to be a problem down the road. There's the voluminous rules. It's pinned to the group. I'm not going to read this entire list. I'm going to touch on the ones that matter, that will get your post declined almost every time. You have 2 types of posts. You have a sales post, and you have a not for sale post. Anybody know what a not for sales post is? Raise your hand. That's where you find something and you want some information, or you are proud of something you have in your collection and you want to show it off. Maybe you're more knowledgeable and you have years of experience and you want to share something. They're all not for sales posts. You start those out at the top of whatever you type or text with not for sale, or N is for not, F is for, and S is for sale, not for sale. If you don't do that, it's probably going to get declined. There's a reason we do that. I'm not getting into the method of behind the madness. We're on the same page on the admin team. What I am going to do is give you some links. If you're like the vast majority of the world now who's looking for errors and you're ignorant because you don't have a clue what a cud, a lamination, a repunch mint mark, an overstrike, a broad strike, any of that stuff is, you're posting pocket change that no one wants to see. It's PMD, post mint damage, post menopausal deviation, whatever you want to call it, it's junk. Now, let me give you an example. This fellow, this is the post that's in pending right now. 1940S, something extra on reverse side. Do you have a question? Is it for sale? Are you stating it's something extra? Are you asking what that extra is? I can tell you it's a lamination error. But if you post a lazy-ass post like that, unless the Cookie Monster who approves or declines each post is motivated, he's going to decline it. Now, there are groups that do nothing but varieties and errors. There's some really good groups out there. CoinOps is one. YouTube. If you go to YouTube, part of the problem is you find some whacker that says this coin could be worth $10,000, and now you're looking through pocket chains for something you're never going to find. Ever. Look here. I strongly recommend the CoinOp Limited YouTube group. That's a panel. All they do is look at your parking lot coins and tell you whether it's an error or not. Sean Patrick Davidson is a beast in a good way. He's a good dude. He's out in California, Blue Ridge Silverhound. He's got 340,000 subscribers. He built his channel on varieties and errors, and what you might find that might be worth a few dollars. Where you can flip it on eBay, you find it and change, you make $10. There's no get rich quick in this hobby. You're not finding any of that shit. Excuse me. God, I get frustrated. Now, let's go to the rules themselves. There are 22 rules. There's 19 rules, and there's 3 suggestions at the end. I'm not going to read this, but I'm going to tell you the basics. We've covered not for sale. Now, if you're going to sell something, guess what you need to put on your post? First of all, type a complete sentence would be epic, but most of y'all aren't capable anymore. Looking for offers. That's a phishing post. It's not going to get approved. If you want to do business in the personal messenger, do business in personal messenger. Don't bring the membership of this group into personal messenger. I'll block you in a heartbeat. That's garbage. Now, all sales posts must include proof of ownership. That's where you put your name on a little piece of paper and the date with your coins that you're trying to sell. That keeps people from stealing pictures and using somebody else's pictures to hustle you. Now, there's a few people we let slide because we know they're legitimate. That's our choice. That's our decision as admin. If you're new, you're going to have to do proof of ownership. We want a clear picture of both sides of your coin. We don't want this little dot on a piece of paper that's fuzzy. Nobody can. The picture sells to coin people. Whatever you type, most people don't read anyhow. You must have your payment options. Whatever you take, you must have your shipping rate. If you don't do either of those, it's not going to get approved. Or if you don't put a shipping cost, it's going to be free and you're going to ship it. Blah, blah, blah. The only permitted sales post, I'm not going to read number 11, but we don't do deal or no deal. There's not been a problem with people trying to do that. You can do an auction, or you can do a fixed price, or you can do a combination. If you do a 24-hour auction, say you do starting bid $10, buy it now of $30. Well, see what you're doing with that? Somebody has to bid at least $10 or you don't sell it. But if there's an auction and it starts to creep up, somebody can come along instead of waiting $1 here, $1 there for the clock to keep getting reset. They go, bang, buy it now, 30, it's sold. It gives you the best of both worlds. Here's a pet peeve. Rule number 14. If you do have one of these so-called errors, don't go with thoughts. What is this coin worth? Because we're not going to approve it. We're just not. Go to one of these groups. Do some research. Don't be a lazy. Don't be sitting in mom's basement with your pocket change. Thoughts? What's dit's worth? Who cares? Okay, what else? One other thing that hasn't happened a lot, but it happens. If you hijack somebody else's post, we're talking a sales post now. A not for sales post is open for discussion. That's how people learn. But if it's a sales post and you come in there with it's not worth that much, guess what? I'm going to remove the comment the first time and give you a warning. I might do it the second time. The third time, you're gone. Or if you put, come join so-and-so over here in this group on somebody else's, any post, you're gone. We'll allow you to link to a group, but it has to be on your post, not somebody else's. Just don't do it. Last but not least, those phishing posts, reel them in, PHISHING, phishing, don't fly here. It's a red flag. If somebody tries to get you to a personal messenger pretty quickly, they're probably trying to hustle you. You know what they're doing? They're either trying to get your coin way undervalued or they're a scammer. Because if they post the honest opinion out there publicly, everybody's going to see it. And when everybody sees it, there's people with knowledge in this group sitting on the sidelines that'll jump all over that coin if it's worth money and pay fair money. But if you go to private messenger and you've got a $100 coin and you're in private messenger and you're ignorant as to value, they're going to try to get it for 20. If you post that out there publicly, you might not get 100, but you'll probably get 70. Make sense? All right. Nobody generally watches my 10-minute videos. And, Cookie Monster's a good dude. I'm a good dude. The group will become a museum like every other group if there's no activity. That's the nature of Facebook. But if we continue to build this the right way, it might be a group where people that really want to learn this series or other coin series will learn. I don't mind doing videos to educate, but I quit doing them for a while because nobody was watching them. I like sharing what's in that Chrome Dome. I'm in this to make money. But one of the things that old school vest pocket and full-time and brick and mortars dealers need to do, and the ones that are still doing it, they will educate you. I was the same way at my coin shop. I asked those stupid questions time and again, and my man was patient with me, and then he knew I was brilliant. He said, I'm not telling you something 3 times. If you can't remember it, don't waste my time. We're still friends. He's now golfing 9 days a week in North Myrtle Beach. Most of y'all are lazy. You run right to Google, you type in Google, and you get some answer that's probably not correct. There's better ways. YouTube is a good one. There's a list. There are Facebook groups that educate. There's not many, but there's a few. There's sellers now on Whatnot. Buyer beware. They don't have to educate you. Grading services don't educate you. If you're dumb enough to send in a coin that has no business being slabbed, that's the last thing I want to address. If you're asking if a coin should be graded, the answer is probably no. Spend about 20 years learning how to grade before you spend your money to have an expert tell you it ain't worth jack shit. If you get a coin graded, if the coin is worth $30 in raw condition as an MS64 red, guess what it's worth in a graded slab in an MS64 red? It's still worth $30. I'm not going to fight that battle because I'm going to get pushback, but I know I'm right. Don't even worry about getting anything graded until you are well knowledgeable and into this for a long time. Grading does not add value to a coin. What it does is authenticate a coin that is often counterfeited because you probably don't know the die markers. I would definitely, if you're new and you're thinking about buying an SVDB or a 14D or a 31S penny, buy a slab unless you know that seller knows his stuff, unless that seller offers a return privilege, because you don't know how many counterfeits are out there. I do. A lot. If you're going to buy a 16D dime, same thing. Buy a slab, unless you know that seller is going to give you a return privilege so you can take it to an expert who knows the dime markers and can tell you, yeah, it's good, or no, it's not. All right, this rant's over.